Hey guys, I'm back. Today is the third video of a 4-part series that I'm doing talking about why I chose Young Living essential oils and why I trust the company. So we have covered transparency, we have covered community and continued education, and today we're going to be talking about Young Living's stewardship. So they cover the whole gamut. They cover the whole gamut from their seed to seal promise, which covers everything from the oil, from seed, from the time that they plant it in the ground to the time that they put it in the bottle, place a seal on it, put their lot number on it, and send it straight out to you. And then their stewardship goes beyond that. What else did they do? From recycling at each of their offices to uplifting communities that are in need. So they really think of everything. So the seed to seal promise, what that is they take these seeds that are heirloom seeds, right? So they keep cultivating off of the same plant, like over and over again. Once that plant is done, they then harvest the seeds from that and regrow the plant. So they do that, and then also when they select a farm, they select it based on the specific plant's requirements, and they test the earth there to make sure that within the last 100 years that it has not had any harmful chemicals added to the ground there, wherever they're going to farm at. So this is why you're going to see Young Living partner farms in Africa, in Asia, Europe, as well as the United States, because they want to make sure that that specific plant is grown in the best way possible. No corners are cut at all whatsoever. And then the harvesting. So they harvest the plant at the exact right time. The peak of the plant is when they harvest it or harvest a part of it. So for an example, they have certain plants or flowers that bloom they need to harvest. They will choose a time of day as well as a time of year, because maybe that certain plant, isn't at its top notch after the dew has evaporated, or something like that. So like the trees, I know that there is Northern Lights black spruce is definitely by far my favorite tree oil, and that is grown in British Columbia, Canada. So the harvest time is smack dab in the middle of winter season. That's not optimal for us humans, but it's optimal for the plant and to get the essential oil. And because it's exposed to the northern lights, it's got amazing quality. I love the scent, and it has a high frequency to it, which is great. It's very grounding and uplifting at the same time. So anyway, so then when they go to distill, they use a method of slow and low. So the reason for that is because they want to make sure that they take their time with it, that they can extract the oil the best way possible, and it's not hurting any of the constituents that is inside the essential oil. If they distill it too hot, too fast, you are not going to get top quality. So slow and low is what is best. So like I said, they do not cut corners. And just for an example, frankincense. Frankincense is grown in 2 different locations with Young Living. There is a farm in Spain, and then there's a farm in Oman, and that is where the sacred frankincense is grown. In both places, it takes about 6 months from start to finish to get frankincense essential oil. So that is why you will find it's a very valuable Young Living oil. And there's different methods that go along with different kinds of oils as well. So this is why you're not going to be able to buy certain oils for, $5, $10, some of them. Some of them, like the citrus oils, are on the more budget-friendly end. But when you're talking about something like frankincense or like rose oil or something like that, a lot of stuff goes into it. I mean, just like rose oil, it takes, let me see what I have here. It takes 22 pounds of rose petals to make a 5 milliliter bottle of rose oil. That's just the rose petals. And you guys know how light rose petals are. And they have to be harvested by hand. This is not a machine doing it, it's by hand. So like I said, Young Living does not cut corners. This is what makes the oils so much of a top quality item, and how valuable it is with Young Living. So then they test them. So they test themselves throughout the distillation process. They keep testing it from beginning to end several times, just multiple times. I can't express to you how many times that a certain batch of essential oil is going to be tested. They want to make sure that all the constituents are there. They want to make sure that it is top-notch quality throughout the whole thing. So if anything comes back less than par, what happens is they get rid of that oil in a very eco-friendly way. And there are several ways that they do that, but that's what they do. They do not sell it. So you will sometimes, if you are a current Young Living member, you will see sometimes that certain oils may be out of stock. That could be for several different reasons. One reason could be maybe that crop just didn't work out that year. It could have been the weather. It could have been, multiple things. I mean, if you know of any farmers, like I got some in my family, you'll know that the weather can contribute to that. The other way is if during this testing period, through Young Living and third-party testing as well, that they have third-party testing coming in as well and kind of auditing them to make sure and hold the company accountable. If it comes about subpar, it's just, they're going to get rid of that batch, and it's just not going to get in the hands of Young Living's members. So just another reason why it is so, Young Living essential oils are so valuable and top quality. Like I said, they do third-party testing as well with highly skilled and trained scientists, and and so then they seal it, and that's part of that process. When they seal it, they're saying, okay, this is top quality. They're putting their seal on it. They're also putting a lot number on it as well on the side of your bottle. That means you can call customer service and ask specific questions on that batch. That holds Young Living accountable for each one. And it's just another way that they're being transparent with you. Now, their partner farms have to go through a lot of different steps to become a partner farm with Young Living, because they have to be able to do the same thing that Young Living does, right? So they all get certified with the Lacey Act law. And you can probably go online and learn more about that. You can go to seed2seal.com and read more about that. But what that is they educate these farms, they evaluate them, they certify them if they feel like, okay, we can work with them. And then there is a continued auditing and monitoring process. So it just holds everybody accountable, just like any other business when they do self-audits every year or have a third party come in and do audits. It just makes sure that everything is as it should be, okay, up to Young Living standards. So, and then also the other thing too is in these other countries where we are partnering with other farms, it helps everyone. It helps Young Living, It helps the community. They make sure that the locals that are hired are paid a fair wage. And in certain cases, they even offer education for the children of the employees that work with Young Living. So it helps everyone. And they are always improving their distillation method, their harvesting methods, to make sure that the plants aren't harmed. They're harmed in the least amount of way. They help with reforesting. They helped in protecting over harvested helichrysum in Croatia. They've helped out in many, many ways. So they are always environmentally friendly. Sorry, that was so hard to say. But anyways, their stewardship is just top notch. Their responsibility to the earth is number one importance. So yeah, you can learn more about that at cdistill.com. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Next week will be the last video, the fourth video in the 4-part series, where we are going to be talking about Young Living's Give Back. You're gonna wanna stay tuned for that. It's great. I'm excited and can't wait. I'll see you guys soon. Ask me questions if you need anything.